Welcome to my channel, folks. Today I'm going to show you how you can use AWS TCO Calculator to compare the cost of running your applications in on-premise locations or co-located data centers against running them in AWS cloud. When we are talking about TCO, it is quite often is thought of as an iceberg. The reason for that is quite a lot of costs are hidden and it is not directly visible or not easily foreseen. For example, when you're talking about a data center cost, there is power, there is cooling, there is security, redundancy, availability, all of those comes into picture. Likewise, we talk about hardware acquisition cost, software acquisition, end user expenses. Probably they want a new laptops to consume the new resources, communication, management strategies, and training and support. All of them has to be calculated, and then only your strategy to move to the cloud has to be come up. Then only you can do a right comparison between on-premise as well as AWS cost. So today I'm going to show you a simple architecture like the one that is shown here. We are going to take a VMware host, which is having one database server, couple of application servers, and 3 web servers in the front end. A simple 3-tier architecture, and we are going to compare the cost of hosting this in an on-premise data center against an AWS data center. We are going to choose US Virginia as our comparison, and you might have better mileage or more discounts or lesser discounts depending upon the region where you want to host it in AWS. So let us go to the TCO calculator and try to check it out. Here I am in the TCO calculator page. I will put this URL in my description so that you can also go and play around with it to find the best migration strategy. You can run this tool in both basic and advanced version. If you go with advanced, it will ask you more questions about usage, utilization, about your VMs. If you're not aware of that when you're beginning with it, go ahead with basic. So we can fill in the basic information and try to get a quick, dirty comparison between on-premise and the cloud. Remember, the cost that is given here has been validated by a lot of third-party organizations, and the cost of on-premise is from a lot of benchmarks that has been done by other people, and those have been averaged out, and AWS comes up with their own calculation, and it is most of the cases comparatively easy to do it this way rather than going it with a third-party organization and doing it of your own. So let us go ahead and choose the currency of our choice. I will leave it as US dollars. If you want, go ahead and choose some other currency that you want to. And as I said earlier, we are going to compare on-premise versus cloud now. And my target region is going to be US East Virginia, which has the most discount or the lowest pricing. If you go to something like Singapore or Tokyo, your cost savings might vary depending upon the workload that you're running. Finally, we are going to input the workloads. Here, go ahead and say web servers, because we have a couple of web servers, so in total 3 of them, and they are going to have about 8 CPUs and about 16 GB of RAM. So that is what my web server configuration is, and I'm running it in VMware. And I want more rows, so go ahead and click on add rows, and I'm going to call them as app servers. And then I'm going to say here as well, I have 2 app servers and they have about 16 CPU and about 32 gigs of RAM. And finally, I'm going to add in my database server. So I'm going to choose here database, and I'm going to call it DB server. And then I have only one DB server, and it has about 32 CPUs and about 64 gigs of RAM. And I run it on my open source MySQL engine. If you want to compare it with any proprietary database engines, go ahead and choose them to have a more accurate comparison. So leave that as it is. Now we are talking about the storage attached to each of those servers. So we have 3 different tiers. So let us go ahead and fill in the storage for each of them. For my web servers, I don't have much storage attached. It is very, very less. It's about 8 gigs of 8 GB. So let me just change it here first, and then 8 GB of RAM disk, not RAM, operating system disks. And then for my app layer, I have about 32 GB. Let me go ahead and change this first, 32. And for my database, it's quite extensive utilization of my database, and I have 1 terabyte of storage for my database tier. So that we are done. The final step is going ahead and calculating my TCO now. So let me go ahead and click on that. So it is processing the data now. Here we have the results, and Amazon computes that you can save approximately 79% of your total savings by moving to your cloud your infrastructure by moving into the cloud. So if you scroll down, you have the breakup of all the cost that has been incurred that has been used for calculating the savings. Say, for example, on-premise, you have expenditure of about 138K. In cloud, you might have less than 25% of that. Likewise, you have your storage and network cost and IT labor cost, and all of those details have been broken down. And Amazon also gives you a recommendation for what type of instances you should be running for your database, what type of instances for your web and app. So in case if you're not happy with this, and if you think that something can be tweaked in or more fine tuned, what you can do is you can scroll up to the top and you can see here there is a button for modify assumptions, or you can go ahead and change your input itself. Or if you're happy with it, you can download the report and share it with your business owners and have a convincing opinion for moving your workloads to the cloud. I hope this video was helpful. Thanks for watching. Happy learning.